Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kaylee and today we are back on Clover, our witchy, swampy, foresty, dark and mysterious island. And in today's video I figured we can actually start the decorating process. Finally, up until this point we've been working on kind of the behind the scenes work of the island, doing a little bit of villager hunting, getting our island to 3 stars. I've also been working on completing our museum since that's one of the goals of this island. And I actually have to turn a few things in, but I wanted Blathers to tell us about Brewster because he is thinking, so let's pop inside real quick actually. So I came in to turn in this painting that I got from Red. I got the common painting and I saw him like this, so I waited to do this until I kind of got online and did it with all of you. So he's going to ask us to talk to Brewster or find him on the island. I don't think I'll go on the Captain Island today, unfortunately, but I did just want to tell you that we are at that point where we can find Brewster. But I do want today to be primarily focused on actually designing. So I'll just go ahead and turn this painting into him really quick and then we can get started on the entrance, and then I'll explain a little bit more about what I actually want to do with the entrance because we do have a relatively small entrance. So there isn't a whole lot of stuff we can do like terraforming or anything like super duper cool because the distance between the airport and the resident services building is just pretty small. So let's go ahead and go look back at that real quick. Yep, so let's go back over here. Those fossils on the ground were just duplicates and I just haven't put them in storage or done anything with them. But this is what I'm talking about. We're exactly lined up, which is kind of nice. I've never had a resident services that aligns with the airport so perfectly. But the distance here is relatively short. So my idea here is to have a little bit of a walkway and then to have a big roundabout using that cobblestone path that we got in our code video. And then in the center I want to have more greenery, and then I was thinking about adding one of the brick wells here because I just think it looks a little dark and mysterious, especially in the black version of it. I was also thinking of maybe using the simple well, which is just the base of the well, not the one with the little pointy top. But I think I want to go with the brick well, but I guess we can just start working on it now. So let's whip out our terraforming tool real quick. And we can just start getting done with some of the pathing. So for this pathing, the main code that we have, if you didn't watch our coding videos, we have a little bit of this moss passing that I downloaded afterwards. But a majority of our spots are taken up by this big swamp code that we'll be using in a different area. And then as far as our organic pathing, this is kind of what we're working with. If you did watch our pathing video, you might notice that I did get rid of all the single blocks except for this little bottom piece because I wanted to use that one right here. So I basically kept that entire piece of coding just for this one area because I just wanted to use it in this section. But I'm going to start making out this path a little bit with a gap in the front because I like to put a flower in that spot, and it's not something I have to do or anything, but it's just something I always like to do. So we are going to start with this pathing, and I kind of want to make it go around in a circle like I said. So this area I want to keep with a lot of greenery and just the well and stuff. So let me freeze my inventory real quick. And I want to surround the brick well with some trees. So I want a little tree in to begin with, and then probably a flower right here. You can probably go with the black tulip maybe. And then maybe we can add down that moss coating to go underneath where the well will be. I think the well is kind of a weirdly proportioned item, but I think it might sit on this perfectly because I think it's a 1.5 instead of a 2x2. But let's put that code down first so the ground doesn't look so bare. And then I do have a brick well. Yeah, it doesn't sit perfectly in line because I think it's a weird 2x2 item, but maybe we can... I want to push it over to this side a little bit more actually because I don't want it to be right behind the tree because I still want you to see it when you come in. So I think that's good. And then maybe we can have some bigger trees back here So maybe a large young, okay, it doesn't want to go there. Maybe going up a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Because that gives a little bit more height in the background. I don't want everything to be like this height or it kind of starts looking a little bit flat. And then as you can see in my pockets, I do want to use a few different types of trees. So I have all the hardwoods, the cedar trees, and then a few of the bamboo trees. I don't think I want to use the bamboo trees throughout the entire island, but I figured it's kind of nice to use it throughout because it like diversifies it a little bit more. And I don't know, I feel like the bamboo trees are just a little witchy and swampy. Not really witchy, but I guess swampy, especially the version that is like one smaller than this because it's just like the brown with the little green bits at the top. But we can stunt these back here. If you didn't know, you can stunt trees by planting a fruit sapling in any of the surrounding squares, and that's how you can keep your little trees small like this. And then probably a bush right here to fill in that little gap so it's not so open. Yeah, because that fills this spot in right behind the well, so you can't really see like sky around it, which is, I like everything to be like pretty dense, so I like pack things in. And then I kind of want to use some of the glowing items because I want this DA to be set at nighttime. So all the candles and everything I think look really cool at nighttime. So I have this ruined seat, and then I also have the wedding candles, which one I think is a super underrated item. Look how beautiful this is. But I think at nighttime it will look really cool, and I feel like candles are kind of tied with witches. So I think that works out pretty well there. And then at nighttime, it will have like a nice glow. And then right here, I wanted to keep this spot open to add a flower. So I think we can add a green mum right here. And then across from that, I don't want to put another flower because I don't like them to be like too close to each other. But we can probably put a bush right here. And then I like to overlap my pathings a little bit with some other items, especially items like the like garden rocks, or in this case a vine bench. So I have a vine bench, and I like to like put them in the half tiles because if you start decorating everything so linear, like I just feel like this part looks a little bit too straight and not like, I don't know, organic and natural looking, I guess. So when you have it off to the side a little bit, to me it just makes it look a little bit more realistic and not so boxy, because a lot of the items in this game are like these one tile items. So I feel like it can just start looking a little too linear and, like I said, boxy. And then maybe one of these tiny little trees I think is pretty cute, and that still leaves like a decent amount of room to like sneak by right here. And then we can continue this pathing a little bit this way. So probably a bottom one, and then we can curve it up right here. And then right here can be another pathway. I will have to stunt this little tree, so I don't know. There we go. So I'll probably like continue this pathway up here, and we'll have to stunt this tree for now. But during the DA, I'll probably dig it up so it's not just like in the middle of nowhere. But let me stunt it real quick before I forget. And then I go ahead and time travel, and then I don't have a tree. Well, I have a large tree where I want a small tree, and that's not what I want to do. And then to make this area not so straight up and down and more organically pathed, I'm gonna bring out the pathway a little bit this way, and we can probably do that right here too, curve it a little bit, and that's just what I'm gonna do. So and then we can probably put like another flower right here. Maybe a rose? That is not where I wanted to go. Can it go right next to that tree? Why did it pop all the way over here? I think it should be able to fit right here, no? There it goes. I don't know why it like was yelling at me before. And then we can just finish off this pathway around real quick. I wanted to go all the way around and then lead over to resident services, so up this way, and then also attach around back way this way. But I'm thinking we might be able to fit another tree right here. Maybe just, I don't want it to be a full grown one, maybe just one of those. And then we can bring the pathway a little bit more farther in. And then what I'm going to do really quick is I'm just going to finish this pathing around, because I feel like me just placing pathing around is going to get a little boring. So let me finish the path around this, and then I'll meet back with you in a second. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the path, and this is what it looks like. I just went ahead and did it all the way around this little centerpiece. And I don't know if I want to connect it all the way over to resident services, so I just left it off right here, but we might bring this pathway up a little bit over here. But I kind of want to make this a little bit more grown in, where you walk over flowers and weeds and everything to make it look like you're not supposed to go in this area. So I'm just going to leave that blank for right now. And then I also added this little flower over here, and I don't know if because those two flowers are directly opposite of each other right now, so I don't know if that stands out a little bit too much, or if I'm okay with that, because you see that the cosmos and the roses, they're right across from each other, and two sides are a little bit symmetrical, and I don't know if that's exactly what I was going for. But I also realized there is this little spot right here, and I feel like we can fit in a garden rock and push it over a little bit closer to this side, and I feel like I can push it up one more, actually. There we go. And then I feel like this kind of fills in this little area right here, because it was kind of looking blank. And I feel like that just fills that spot in a little bit nicer right there. And then I'm just going to start filling in this spot. I think right here we can probably put a tall garden rock. So we don't have too many filler codes, so a lot of these are just going to be reused. We kind of have these three, and then just the ones up here, so not as many as I usually work with, and that's just because that dang swamp code takes up so much room, and I might get rid of a few different codes, because also real quick, if you look at this, I did grab 2 middle pieces for this cobblestone path, but I don't know if I'll actually end up using both, because I feel like they just are, it doesn't stand out that much, to me at least, when I'm looking at it. I can't really tell that they're too different, when I look at them close to close, next to each, if I look at the same piece next to each other twice, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If I look at the same piece next to each other, it doesn't look like it's too repetitive, so I think that's okay if we get rid of that. And then I think I'm going to put a large young hardwood here, and then that's nice because this sapling stunts that one as well. And then to kind of break up that monotonous linear vibe again, I think I'm going to use a flat garden rock over here. So we can put this guy over here, and then I should have a flat one, yes. And that helps to just kind of break up how it starts to look a little bit too boxy again, having just the one by one items stacked up. And then we can probably put another, actually maybe a green mom here, and then another tree right there, maybe another bamboo tree. There we go. And then I feel like back here we can have another cedar tree a little bit taller, because these are the same growth stage, but it just looks so much taller, and I like that. And I don't want the trees to get too linear, so if we stand over here, it kind of breaks it up a little bit more. I don't know. And then back here, I feel like it looks a little open, so we can put a wheat field to fill that space in a little bit more. And then probably just another bush back here. There we go. And then this can probably be actually maybe a piece of glowing moss. I just don't want the big one. I just want one of the little guys. There we go. Because I also want to use the glowing moss because I feel like it will look a little bit magical, and maybe that's where all the witches get their power from, all of the glowing moss around the island. Maybe that's part of the backstory. And then I'm going to use a little bit more wheat field over here, and then maybe just a garden rock back here. There we go. And then I like to check everything from the front, because if I go to take a picture, I kind of want to see what it would look like. And I am liking this side so far, so let's start working on this side. And I kind of want to put another little baby tree right here. I like to put all my baby trees in the front-ish area, closest to the pathway. And then the farther you go out, the larger it gets, because then I feel like you can just see the pathway a little bit more easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head it does. And then, there we go. And then we can put probably a bamboo tree to mix it up a little bit more. And we can stunt this one behind the tree as well. And then, let's see, probably just another bush right here. And then I kind of want to put a log stakes right here, but I don't want it to be lined up directly again. So we're going to put it on the half tile. And I think I have one of those in my pocket. Yes. There we go. And then I feel like we can put another black flower over here. Maybe another rose. And then a bush back here. I'm using the azalea bushes, the hydrangea bushes, and the hibiscus bush. I was thinking about also using the tea olive bushes, but those start to get a little too bright in this time of year, and I feel like it will look a little distracting. And then I feel like we can use another tree over here. And then I feel like we might even be able to squeeze in another one of the tiny trees right here to kind of line the path and lead your eye this way, because they kind of go in a diagonal, which I kind of actually like. And then right here, maybe a glowing moss can go right here. Or you can put another... Actually, maybe... Is that too close to this garden rock, the tall garden rock? Let me place it down to try it, actually. Now I feel like it's really making a diagonal, and I don't know if I love that or if I hate that. I don't know how to explain it, because it kind of makes the diagonal so your eyes are led to go up this way, which I like. So I think I'm going to keep that for now. What happens if I turn it around? That makes it a little bit better, I think. I don't know. We'll keep it for now, and I'm just going to turn it back the other way. Because I kind of like that it leads your eyes going up this way. If you can tell what I'm talking about. I don't know if I just sound utterly crazy right now, actually. So let me know if it makes sense to you, because I don't know how else to explain it. And then, let's see. We can probably put a wheat field back here as well. There we go. And then we do have to stunt this one, so we can just stunt it behind this tree again. And then I feel like just a bush can go here. There we go. And maybe another piece of glowing moss up here, because maybe you'll step on it a little bit. I just really don't like that tall version. I just like the little guys. I feel like the tall one just looks like too much. I don't know. There we go. I feel like this is looking pretty good. Oh no. Look at Blue Bear in the background. Cousteau, no. He's my favorite. Who hurt him? We were training all day yesterday, but now her muscles are so sore she can barely move. Sounds tough, but I'm going to say it's alright. You've got to know the awesomeness of muscle soreness to appreciate the awesomeness of muscle soreness. But I think maybe Blue Bear wasn't quite ready for that much awesomeness. Okay. And then she is completely fine now, so whatever. Cousteau sadly isn't going to be staying on the island, but I kind of want to fit him in because I love him so much. But he is just way too yellow for the island. And I don't know if I go with my heart or go with aesthetics more. But I think we're going to kick him out because we already made backstories for everyone, and then I'd have to backtrack and get him a backstory, and I don't know if I want to do that, so. And then right here, I was kind of thinking of putting what is the word called? A mushroom parasol. There we go. Because I have the strange looking ones, but I don't know if it will look too weird right here. Oh, I messed that up. Let's fix that real quick. And I got this code specifically to go under the mush parasols and the decayed trees, because I think, I don't know, like, let me put a decayed tree down real quick. You'll see it here. Like, it leaves so much open room on the bottom that it will look like the tile is completely blank. And if you know my decorating style, I like to cover like every single tile. So I just like to put this coat underneath to make it look a little bit more finished. And then I do the same with my mush parasols because they have like a little band outside of like where the leaves are. And I feel like that just fills that area in, and I just like how it looks. So that's what I do. And then a bush, and then maybe a garden rock in front of it because I don't want to do two bushes next to each other. So let's grab maybe a lily pad to put it on to mix it up so we don't have so many stones underneath like every item that we're placing down. And I do want to use the lily pads around the island to give off that like more swampy vibe. Yeah, because I think it looks kind of cute on the lily pad actually. And then I don't know what that will look like from that. You can't even really see it. I think when there's more trees behind it, it will look pretty cool. But for now, it's kind of like open. Maybe we can fit a wheat field right here to fill some of that space in. And then we can see what that looks like from the front. Yeah, I kind of like that a little bit more. And then like I said, once that area is filled in more, it won't look like as open. But I do want to use the mushrooms around because I just love this item. I feel like I use it on almost all of my islands. And I think the only island I haven't used it on is Bouville, but I definitely had it on Rubble. And then I did have the orange ones on Saffron. I don't remember if I used any on Pebble because that was like such a long time ago. But okay. Something else I was thinking about, because at first I was just going to fill this whole area in with greenery, which I feel like honestly is a little bit of a waste of space because this is like a decent amount of space that we could do something with. So I was thinking about putting a villager home right here, and we could just like take this pathway up to lead to it. But I was also thinking of maybe doing a storefront house, like a fake little witch's house, and you could just have like a little pathway leading up to it. And I feel like we could make it out of like storefronts and have it like 2 stories to add some height to this area. So let me grab some of those items real quick, and then we can play around with layout and see if we actually like that right there. All my villagers are like surrounding over in this area. Like Tiang Shang's going off right now. I don't know what's happening. And then Ruby also gave me a reaction a little bit ago. But I'm just going to ignore them for now. But I was thinking of putting a... where did I put my storefront? There it is. I was thinking of using like 2 storefronts like in the front. And then... that is not where I wanted it to go. I still feel like that's too far away. There we go. And then a couple over on the side. These are just not going where I want them to go right now, which is gonna piss me off in a second. There we go. I'm just gonna build like what I'm thinking of, and then we can take a look at it from the front. And then there will be a 3x3 like block of terraforming, and then we can put 2 back to back up here with maybe something in the front row to add a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of detail. But I think I kind of like that you can see it from this entrance, and then it will give this entrance a little bit more like something special, because right now it's just like a bunch of greenery and a well. So I kind of like this. And then let's go ahead and build the cliff real quick. And I did go ahead and okay, where's this gonna go? Okay, I'm like off by 1. Let me pick all these up real quick. Tian Shang is really just running around so gleefully right now. But I was talking about in the coding video maybe getting rid of some of the wood planks. And I actually kept both. And I feel like in this scenario we might be able to use the ones that are frayed on the end with the greenery. Because let's look at them real quick. Because I have this one right here, which we could use, and I was planning on using in the swamp. But then I also have this one, and honestly, if I got rid of that one, we could have 4 more code spots for more fillers, which I think is actually a good idea. So let me actually use the other one, because I was thinking about using the one with the frayed ends because it adds a little bit more detail. But then I remember we have this code down here too. So if I do want to add a little bit of like, I don't know, swampiness to the sides, we can just use that one. But to try to save space, let's just use this one. So I'm going to path around this and then one to the sides. And then this row will be the storefront. So maybe like 2 over this way. So we can layer a few items on like the patio of like the witch's house. I was thinking maybe a rocking chair and like some barrels and stuff. Keep it like relatively like simple to not like overcrowd the area. But let me finish placing down this code real quick. Okay, and then I'm going to put the same code on the ground on the top because I am a stickler for always covering my cliff edges of like buildings, because I know when you move the camera in certain ways it will like show the ground, and if it's like grass I feel like it just like ruins the illusion of the build a little bit. So I'm a little bit, I don't know, weird about that always showing. And then we can put the back storefront here. I think that's good. And then we can run around the other side. I think I'm going to have to build another cliff thing right here, actually. Let me build that up. And then we can climb up here. And then this should allow us enough room to place a few items down as well. So let's put the other storefront. And then I grabbed a pirate barrel somewhere in my pockets. There we go. And then I was thinking we could put the wedding candles up here as well. I know the storefronts will light up as well, so that's pretty cool. And I just want to add a little bit more light to it because, like I said, we are going to be setting this DA in the nighttime. So I think the light will be pretty cool, illuminated. I swear I grabbed a clothesline. Oh, there it is. I'm just like searching in my pockets like a maniac. There we go. And then I grabbed a simple panel to act like the door. So I'll have to customize that. I have, I think, 2 door codes, which looking back on it, it might be a little excessive. But I kind of want to see the layout really quick from the entrance to see if I like this before I finish even building it. So let's put these 2 down. And then I'm just going to put the blank simple panel for now. There we go. I got it in the brown version because I feel like that matches the closest. And then our other storefront. I love making little fake buildings like this. And I think this is exactly the same format of building I made in my entrance on Rubble. I think the gas station that I built was just like this. Okay, I had to pause for a second because my dog was going crazy outside. But I think I like this so far. Let me put the rest of the storefronts around it and then we can work on filling around the edges. Again, like how I said, I want to attach our resident services to this build as well. I kind of want to make it a little built in. I don't remember what I was saying. My husband rudely interrupted me. But how I want the entrance to be a little like this area. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I want this area to be a little bit more densely filled in, so you have to like walk over flowers and leaves to get to the actual area. I kind of want to do that with this area too. So to get over to the witch's house to like take a picture here, you have to like walk over flowers, and I feel like that just gives off like a more natural kind of vibe to it. So let me finish placing these down real quick, and then I'll quickly run over and customize the simple panel, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the customized simple panel up, and I think this looks so cool. I think it will look really cool at night when the candles at the top are lit up in the nighttime, and then also the storefront windows will light up, which I'm not 100% sure if I will actually love it like that. But I also grabbed a few items. So I grabbed a rocking chair, so it kind of looks like this is where like the witch will come out and like sit on her patio, maybe drinking a little witch's brew coffee. And then I grabbed a stool, and then to add another light up item, I grabbed a vine lamp, and I grabbed it in the gray version. I'm not sure if I'll keep it in that version, but I just want to see what it looks like. And then to fill up this area over here, I was just kind of thinking some more pirate barrels. So I have the normal pirate barrel, and then I also grabbed the sideways pirate barrel. So we can just stack those over here. And I feel like at nighttime you won't be able to tell like how these are all different browns, because right now it looks a little weird with all the different shades of brown, but I don't think you'll really be able to see that much. So I'm trying to decide if I just want to connect this over here with the pathing. Maybe we can use the mossy path that I have. I just don't have every single side of it, so we might just have to do like little patches of it. Like this, and then maybe a circle right here. Let's try that. I kind of just want to break it up a little bit different than what the cobblestone path is. I just don't want it to look, I don't know, I kind of just want it to look like the witch like stomps through the woods to get to her house. So I think this looks kind of cute. Just like this way, and then we can fill this in with like different flowers. So maybe a green mum, and then that can just probably be a bush right there. And then we might even be able to put a tree right here, so a large young hardwood. And then we can stunt that back here, and then you won't even be able to see it. And then I feel like we can put, I was going to say a glowing moss, but I don't want it to be too similar. So maybe we can do another flat garden rock. And then behind this, we can put another larger tree somewhere. Let's see, put those down real quick. And I just love putting the different, like, where's my flat one? Over here, right? Yep. I just love putting, like, the stone codes, like, underneath the actual rock items. I think it just gives it a little bit more, like, detail in, like, the smallerish areas. There we go. And then now I feel like we could put another bush right here. And then a flower right here, maybe a lily. I don't think we've used one of those in a while. I just want to make sure. Oh, those two are exactly lined up, which I do not like. So maybe a... Which one haven't we used? Maybe a... Probably just a rose. I am like such a stickler for not having like the same bushes next to each other or the same flowers. To me, it just like sticks out so much that I just can't stand it. And I know that is probably very dramatic, but it's just how my brain works. And then back here we can put a wheat field to fill in that space. And then I feel like we can even just put like a big tree back here. It kind of eats into the house, but I don't think I mind that. Yeah, I kind of like how that looks. And then let's see. I don't want to put any of the larger trees like right here. But maybe right here we can put just a normal weed. And then maybe a bush right here. I don't want it to get like too far in our way, but... Because I feel like you can still walk up to the house without running into that bush. So I think that's okay. And then we can put a tiny tree right here to fill in that kind of spot. And then maybe we can remove this stunt and put it where I'm standing so it stunts both of them, so we don't have to have too many saplings in one area. And then I don't know what to put here. Maybe just a weed. A weed. And the nice thing about these weeds is because we're building it so early in the process, they will probably grow in a little bit more. So that's... Oh, look how cute she is sitting in the chair. Okay, so I'm liking this area so far. I am interested to see how it will look at nighttime, but maybe we can put a bush up here, this one, and that doesn't like block, it blocks you from getting this way, which I kind of like, and maybe right here we can even have one of those smaller trees again, and then maybe a stunt just right here, and then that should also stunt if we want to put a tiny tree right here. And then behind that, maybe like right here, we can put a fully grown this. That was not a fully grown one, but that's okay. And then maybe, we haven't used any like large bamboo, so right here, maybe we can put a large bamboo tree. I don't know if I want to keep that one small. I maybe want to make that into a larger tree, but let's just keep going to see how it goes. And then I don't want you to be able to go this way, so we might just be able to put another bush right here. But that will be like 3 bushes in a row. I don't know. I'm also blocking myself in, so I won't be able to go this way. And then I don't want the trees to be too close to the house, because then I feel like it will block the camera angle. But I feel like this is like far enough back to where it won't have that issue. And then we can fill in this area with some flowers. Maybe another one right here. There we go. And then we might be able to fit a decayed tree in. What do I want? I want a wheat field. And then I don't know if it's too close to this to where it will look a little odd, but I feel like we can fit in a tree like right next to the mushroom, so it will kind of block it, so I feel like you won't be able to tell that it's like 2 of those really close together. But I kind of want to put a decayed tree right here because it will like take up room, but it's also like kind of see-through, so it won't like block too much, if that makes sense. I have 2 decayed trees in my pockets for some reason. There we go. And yeah, I feel like this could be even just a normal large hardwood tree. I'll have to see what that looks. And now I blocked myself in, so now I have to run all the way around. But let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it's pretty open. We might even be able to put like a leaf pile on this, so it kind of makes it more dense. But I like that you can like actually get up to the house. And then I feel, what does it look like if you sit in the chair? That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I feel like you can still see enough of the house where it looks good. And then we'll just have to see what it looks like at nighttime. So I'm liking how this is turning out so far. I kind of want to jump to nighttime to see what it looks like real quick. So let's do that really quickly. What time do you think is good? Like 9 p.m.? Like that's pretty dark. And let me take off my hard hat for ambiance to get into the actual mode of what we'll be walking around like. There we go. Look at Cousteau eating his little donut in the background. He's so cute. But I kind of like this. And like I said, like the windows light up. I kind of want to put an item on top of this barrel, but I don't want it to be too matchy-matchy with the one up top. So we'll have to find another item. Maybe like a food item of some kind. I'll have to look at what's available. But I kind of want to put something. We can even put it off by one. I don't know if I want to do that yet. But let's just keep it right there for now. But I do want to put something here to add a little bit more height, because I feel like the barrel and the tree are a little similar in height right now, which is not freaking me out, but weirding me out a little bit. But yeah, I like this so far. I think this is where I'm going to end it. So let me pull out my camera real quick to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for watching our first Let's Play build video. I think it went pretty well. Leave any of your comments down below as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends!